What's up, Soul Family? Coming at you with another collective reading. This one's going to be slightly different, but still similar. It's going to be kind of like what we are manifesting and advice on how to get there, which isn't too far from what we normally do, but that being said, let's jump right in. So I feel like we have Bag that came out, and this is something important, such as a new job or a raise. So that being said, if you are interested in a one-on-one reading, you can do so by directly messaging me. I'm extending the $20 sale, the flash sale, all the way up until the end of the month, so you have until September 31st. You can either directly message me, or you can do so at the link in the bio. You can ask whatever questions you want, or I can pull cards and see what comes out for a general reading. If it doesn't resonate, then I'll simply refund you. That being said, let's jump right in. So I feel like I feel like this reading might not be that long. It's like when you're trying to manifest something like a job or a raise, it's kind of like, fairly straightforward. So I guess I'm going to kind of see what comes out oracle-wise that's related to this. We'll pull a couple tarot cards and go from there. So then we have Fair Woman with dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. And then we have Broken Ring, parting of ways in either romance or business. So this makes me feel like this is a new job altogether. I don't think that this is something for somebody who is getting a promotion. Not to say that you're not getting it, just because this isn't your confirmation or just because this specific reading doesn't confirm what you're going for, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not happening. Or maybe the confirmation was the first card that I pulled and that's all you needed. Sometimes that happens. But anywho, I know I had an interview recently with somebody who had blonde hair. So, I mean, it could be that maybe if you had an interview with somebody, maybe you're going to have an interview with somebody. Maybe that's going to be like your manager, something along those lines. It could very well be that. And as I had that thought, like I have like a side wheel set up, and the side wheel just like literally tipped over, like the tinfoil on top of the side wheel. So I'd like to take that as confirmation that it's something along the lines of you might have an interview with somebody who has blonde hair, something like that, that might lead to like your new job. And then even this Queen of Swords is somebody who has blonde hair. So it makes me feel like as well, it's somebody who's going to be very fair, very rational. I don't think this is going to be somebody who's toxic. The Queen of Swords is somebody who operates out of integrity. They have clear communication. They are usually fairly, for the most part, the Queen of Swords energy is a positive card when it pops up. It's somebody who, like I like to think when the Queen of Swords pop up, they're not going to be tripping over dumb things or be obnoxious. I think they're going to offer you a very fair shot at whatever you're trying to get towards versus some job environments where they might be toxic. And then we have the Star card and I think this is a Two of Pentacles. So this could be a lot of, well, first of all, confirmation of like whatever you're hoping for, like whatever your intentions are. It's a very strong confirmation that this is going to work out for you, that you're going to receive this opportunity. And then the Two of Pentacles makes me feel as if you're still being called to make sure that you're balancing things out. So make sure you're not just working overtime nonstop to the point where you're being burnt out. Make sure you're balancing out like whatever your other goals and tasks or priorities are, um, in exchange for this opportunity. It could be that maybe you're used to burning yourself out, or maybe you're used to having too much on your plate. So it's a really important call to make sure that you are not doing such. And then let's see. We have the Nine of Wands. So maybe this is after a period of you having lost your job, or maybe you've been going through like a lot of struggles. Maybe it's been like really frustrated. The Nine of Wands is like the Wounded Warrior card. So, I mean, it's not been a very easy journey for you to get to this point. And this card's been popping up a lot lately. So whoever this collective is, I mean, we must have been going through it together collectively. So hang in there. It's like sometimes all you have to do is like take the next step, and then you get to where you got to get to. It could be that you're right around the corner from a breakthrough. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So this makes me feel like, again, there's going to be some kind of like contract, some kind of like offering, some kind of communication that's headed your way. So maybe you already had the interview. Or maybe if it's not that, then you could be being called to, if you've had the interview already, or, maybe it's a call to reach out yourself. It could be that you're either receiving some communication, or you're being called to maybe check up on an opportunity, or look for an opportunity, or speak up and try and get an opportunity, something along those lines. But I'd like to think that you're more likely to be receiving some kind of communication or letter or offering or contract or something of the sort. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. So it's definitely the energy of like not giving up too soon. Don't allow yourself to be discouraged if you haven't had luck finding a job that you are interested in. A lot of times it's just how things are aligning for us to be able to experience like whatever we want. So many times we think that we can't get what we're trying to manifest, when in reality, it's trying to come to us in a way that's actually sustainable versus a way that might come to us in an unhealthy way. Like, there are people who want to have a relationship, but I've had clients who then don't have the healthiest belief system around relationships. So when they get into one, they are almost sabotaging the connection. Their fear is so overwhelming that they start to project their own past insecurities onto their current partner, to the point in which then actually starts to create problems versus they're actually just being fluidity or accepting that partner for who they are in that specific moment. So sometimes we have to be very mindful of not being too impatient as we are trying to manifest something so that it can come in the healthiest way possible. This one didn't want to go back in the deck. And we have the Four of Pentacles. So it could be one of two things. Maybe you're being called to let go of that old job and go to a new one, or you could be heading into an era of stability. Like, whatever this job offering is could be offering you a chance to catch your breath or be stable. I know so many times, like, we try to, especially when you start to manifest, there's like this notion of so many people quitting their jobs and just up and leaving things and not considering that there is a practical side. I've always been one to advocate for there being grounded approaches to things. And while some people have the ability to have the intuition to just quit up and quit and have the universe take care of them, like, I personally cannot be one of those people. I feel like I'm one of those people who really need to have stability in order to manifest better. So it could be that maybe you are about to receive the stability and you're able to actually build off of that platform from there. I'll pull a couple more and we'll go look at the bottom of the deck. I think I'll pull this one. I think this is the Page of Wands. I'll do that one. I think this is, sorry, the King of Wands. And then on the bottom of the deck we have the Two of Cups. So I think since the King of Wands came to us in reverse, it's like, don't be nervous. Like, and then on top, it's really interesting because these would technically be very complementary. It's like learning how to feel comfortable standing in your authenticity, learning how to be comfortable standing in your power. I think so many times all we ever really have to, all the time, all we ever really have to do is be authentic and be ourselves. Unless you're an asshole. If you're an asshole, then even then, I mean, we see who the president is. So, I mean, being objective, like when you are authentic and you are simply yourself, you attract people, even in the circumstances where you might not necessarily be the best or the kindest person. And I mean, obviously, we want to operate out of kindness. We want to make sure we're not spreading hatred. We want to make sure that we are doing better things. And, I'd like to believe that most of us typically operate out of that at a base level. I think we all have the capacity to be kind inherently. I think it takes more effort to be unkind to individuals. Most times not. Some people are just bitchy and like to talk shit. But that being said, I think if you are able to step into your authenticity and feel comfortable doing such, you're going to allow yourself to attract in any opportunities that are reflective of that. And again, when you step into your authenticity, you attract in individuals who are aligned with you. The Two of Cups energy is very much so also the energy of people who see eye to eye, people who are able to actually meet you where you are and see the perspective that you're holding, or hold a similar perspective that you're holding. So I think as long as you continue to learn how to embrace who you are and your authenticity, you will attract in opportunities that are reflective of that. And you'll be in an environment where it will be reflective of that, and you'll actually be able to experience more peace versus chaos. The last job that I was in was a very toxic environment, to say the least. And they were very predatory in the things that they wanted to have happen with how they operated. So I think so many times when we have opportunities that, or jobs that don't really go our way, it could be that maybe we're being pushed to something that could be more aligned, something that is able to sustain us in the long run, and that we're actually stepping into our authenticity in order to have that experience be reflected back. So that being said, peace and blessings, you guys, and I'll catch you in the next reading.